Hey yo, it's your boy TakiTheHuman. The human, don't forget the room. And welcome back. Now, guys, today's a very special day. Oh, yes, special because it's the first time I'm making a video after such a long time. And also special because your boy has finally reached 1,000 subscribers. Whoa, you know, when I started this channel, I had that as a goal for like a long time, and now the fact that it's finally happened is crazy. It's insane. So thank you to all the old people, and by old I mean people who subscribed before I went into Big Brother, and the people who have subscribed afterwards. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, with that said, let's cook. Let's start the video. So for today's video, we are doing a get to know me tag. I don't know why it's called a get to know me tag instead of just a get to know me, but it's a get to know me. So I'll ask you guys on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok to send in your questions and ask me things that you wanted to get to know about me, about your boy, Taki. So with further to do, with that said, let's get it. All right, Q&A, getting to know Taki. Where did you grow up? What was your upbringing like? Now, fam, also shout out to the person who made it into a slideshow. It looks very clean, it looks very slick. I'm here for it. So this question is very complicated for me, man. You're very complicated because, like, unlike most people, I didn't grow up in one specific spot, one specific place. So I was born in Cape Town, and then I lived in KZN for like a little bit. Then I think we moved back to Cape Town. Then from there, we then moved overseas, and I lived in the UK, and then I grew up in the UK. Now, from my memory, I can only really remember life from when I was like 4 years old, right? So when I was 4, I remember being in the house in Cape Town. I remember that very well. And I had like cool friends, or I was like friends with my neighbors specifically. I forgot their names. But it was like this white girl and and her stepbrother. And I remember that like there was some drama even with that stuff. Like I remember the parents, because there was like siblings. So the stepdad or stepmom, no, the stepmom and stepdad used to fight sometimes. I remember the one time they had to come and stay with us for like a little bit, and then they went back. Yeah, it was a lot. Anyway, then I lived in the UK. UK was really dope from my memory. Really dope. We lived close to Chelsea's training ground. Don't know why we never watched a match. That still pisses me off till this day. That my parents never took me to go watch a match because I am a football fan. Well, actually, I'm a retired Manchester United fan, but I'm a football fan and I wanted to go watch some football, but it just didn't happen. So, yeah. And UK was dope from my memory. And then after the UK, moved to Joburg. And then we were living in Benoni area, Benoni Boksburg. That's where we're living. And then I went to like an all-new boys school, which was tough, bro. Yo, it was tough. Because the thing about me is like, I'm a little bit of a soft brother. So like boys schools, hey, nah, dude. If I ever have kids, I would not be sending them to like only sex school. Because also I feel like you need to learn how to be around the other sex, bro. And like be cool with them and be able to talk and all of that vibe and all that stuff. So me personally, if I had a kid, that's what I would do. I wouldn't want to put them in an only boys school because that was a very tough experience for me. Then after that, we moved to Turkey, and Turkey was interesting because I went to like an American school. So like that, like you know, like in the movies, how it is like with the kids all wearing civvies, having cliques type of a vibe. That's exactly what it was like. And there was only 2 African people, so me and this other guy from Cameroon. And fam, when I tell you, me and this guy did not look alike, but everybody would ask us if we're brothers. Everyone would ask us if we're brothers. And we're like, no, dog. And also people would ask you like, did you like ride elephants to school, have lions as pets? And I remember the one day when I was like, nah, this is cap, dude. They spoke about water issues and like borehole problems. And they made it seem like the water in South Africa is just dirty and jay. And I was like, nah, fam, stop the cap. Our tap water, well, before, it's actually pretty clean compared to all over the world. So don't do that. Don't speak dirty about my country like that, you know? No pun intended. But yeah, so that was that. And then after that American school, we then, and like when I say American school, guys, like proper, like you go to the cafeteria, there's lunch, all of that stuff. And then moved to came back to Joburg. Then I was living in like Kyalami, and then that's where I spent most of my like high school career. Actually, my whole high school career, grade 8 to matric. And that was cool. That's where I made like a lot of close friends, good friends. And I could say that's probably where like, I want to say most of my upbringing was, but that's not true because everything else was part of my upbringing as well. So yeah, and funny enough, believe it or not, in my high school, yeah, me and my group of friends were known as ghetto. We're known as ghetto boys. Like, compared to the rest of the black kids, okay, not all the black kids, but like the popular black kids, we were seen as the ghetto guys. And I remember like back then, that used to bother us, eh? Like, it used to bother us. But I think it's also just the environment we're in, because like that school, majority was white people. So of course you're trying to fit in, and to fit in, you're trying to now impress the majority, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a bit about my upbringing. I could go more into it, but also I don't want to make this video too long. So let's go to the next question. What qualification do you have? So obviously, not obviously, but I matriculated with a bachelor's. So shout out. And I got like 2 distinctions, one for drama, one for LO. Then I went to, I can say this now. Then I went to AFDA and I studied live performance. So I got a Bachelor of Arts in Live Performance from AFDA. And I studied in Cape Town. What's inspired you to pursue a career in the entertainment industry? Good question. So what had happened was like, in high school, yeah, I think grade 9, I was really into like IT and stuff because I was very good at it in grade 9. Come grade 10, it's not time to start programming, right? Bro, the teacher also was like pretty difficult, and also programming was just kicking my ass. It was beating me up, bro. It was defeating me. So in terms of that, I was just like, nah, let's call it a day. And I remember like my parents, when I told my parents like what I wanted to, the subjects I wanted to take, they were excited. They were like, oh, you're like one of the first ones in the family to do like something sciencey, because I was going to do IT, I was going to do physics, yeah, and business studies, but like those were like the 2, and they were like, ooh. But guys, honestly, for me, I knew it was late, when like my Zulu mark would be better than those marks, because by now, and you saw on the show, my vernac is not strong, right? So for me, the fact that my Zulu mark is better than my IT mark, that tells me then it's time to quit. It's time to move on. It's time to call it a day, because how? So dropped IT, and then something happened with physics, dropped physics. And then from that point, I was just like, you know what? I am going to be a psychologist, because I like deep conversations, I like connecting with people, and I just like those type of conversations. So I thought, let me just go down that route. Then then came grade 11, and for drama we had to do these 1-act play festivals, and we had to like direct them. So we're doing that, but then I also got cast in another play, and that play was called Fuji. And bro, my teacher said like to me, I must go audition for it because she feels like I'll be perfect for that role. So I auditioned, did the whole play. Then on the showcase day, because only specific plays got chosen. So the one I directed didn't get chosen, but the one I was acting in did, right? And she invited like press to come to watch the 1-act play festival. And there was like awards and all the stuff. It was like a big, like it was like an event. So I don't know how to explain it, but like the best way I can explain it is like, you know, like when athletes speak about being in the zone, right? And it almost feels spiritual. Like it almost feels like you got no control over like what's really happening. You're just like in flow. You're just doing it. Like, you know, that's what it felt like when I was performing that night. I was just in motion. Like it was just flowing like the water. It was just flowing. And then did the performance. And then after that performance, there was a award ceremony. And now the play I was in, Fuji, was getting awards for days. It was racking up all the awards. And then it came down to the best actor. Now, back in my drama class, I was not like a teacher's favorite really. And I also didn't really like rate my skills as an actor, right? So to me, there was always people who I thought were better than me. And I get to class that day. Oh yeah, so then one guy wins it and he killed his performance. Like he killed his performance. So I was like, okay, shout out, well done, bro. Then the next day, get to class in the morning. My teacher goes, Taki, I have something to tell you. Everybody come inside. Now I'm like, what's going on? What do you have to tell me? What's happening, you know? Then we're all sitting there, and then she goes, yeah, I want to tell you guys about the night and everything. And then she's like, so I need to tell you the truth about the awards. We're like, okay. And then she goes on to say that, like, with the awards, because Fuji was winning all of the awards, they had to kind of like start evening out the awards because it's school, you know, and everyone's a winner, right? So I'm like, okay. And then she goes, so there was a debate backstage about who should win Best Actor. And it was between me and the guy who won. So the two judges were having like this deep, strong debate. And then they kind of came to the consensus that I actually was the winner and I was actually the Best Actor, right? But because it's school and everybody must get an award, then they said, okay, let's agree to give it to this guy, just so that it's spread out evenly or whatever. So then he won it. But then she said to me, but Taki, you were the actual winner of the night. And of course she couldn't judge because she's a teacher, and we need to get people who are not biased, you know? And then she gave me the award, and then I won Best Actor. Then I was like, damn, maybe I can do this. Maybe this is something I can really pursue. And like as a kid, it was like between soccer and acting was what I wanted to do. Soccer, I saw, okay, it wasn't really cutting. And then after winning that award, I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I can do this. And then, yeah, dude, the rest is kind of history. Who do you look up to in the entertainment industry? In SA, I look up to Lawrence because I was lucky enough to interview him. And like from the conversation we had, I was like, yo, this guy's like he's like a fighter. But also what I really liked about that interview I had with him was how he said he is someone who's like more on the introverted side, but when it's time to go, he goes. And I just like related to that a lot with him. Also Proverb, like, again, when I was able to interview him, just from his conversation and like his mindset just to life in general, I could really just connect with that and like relate to that. So those are people I do look up to in the entertainment industry. In SA, overseas, it would be KSI. Again, somebody who just keeps like has such a strong belief in himself and just keeps pushing, just keeps going. And Will Smith, I know he's been in his whole drama and stuff like that, but also I just also really like his values and the way he sees life and the way he goes about things. I really do respect him for that type of stuff. Even though right now it's messy, but to me, he's very like humanized to me. That's what I really like about him. So those are some of the people I look up to in the entertainment industry. What is your toxic trait? My toxic trait is that I'm very, very petty. And just to get a bit deep now, I've realized that that pettiness comes from like a self-confidence issue. Like it's a thing of where I feel like if I'm being slighted by somebody, or if I feel like somebody is kind of looking down on me or whatever, instead of regulating my emotions and being like, okay, you know what? Even though this person feels the type of way about me, it does not mean that this is how I am. It's not a true reflection of who I actually am. I need to decide who I am and how I want to react going forward. And I think if I care about that person enough and I care about the relationship, then maybe I can go speak about it and tell them, hey, I don't like what you did, or whatever the case is, you know? But then what I will do is that I'll start internalizing it, and then through internalizing it, I'll become very passive aggressive and try to find a way to get you back. So the best way to actually like combat this, to me, is actually communication and kind of just getting it out and not keeping it in here. Like make sure I externalize it so it's outside, because the more chills in here, low key, the more rotten you become. You know what I'm saying? Because you're building on and you're festering onto too many things. So those are one of my toxic traits. What are your green flags? Green flags, I would like to think my green flags are that I'm quite a emotional type of person. And I think because of that, it's easy for me to connect to people. So I would like to say that is one of my green flags. I'm also quite empathetic. So like, it's like a thing of me where I always try to put myself in other people's shoes so I can understand their perspective all the time. Like all the time, I really, really try to do this. And I think that is one of my green flags. And also I think another green flag of mine is probably that I'm kind, but sometimes that kindness does get taken for granted and gets taken as a weakness. So that's something else I would say is a green flag of mine. When it comes to dating, what's your biggest turn-off? Something you can't tolerate? Something I can't tolerate when it comes to dating, probably like something where I would leave, like I won't even question it. Probably has to be something like cheating. Like cheating, I'll just walk out. Like I wear dog, sharp, sure, cool. And also, I just don't like people who are inconsiderate. And especially like when you're being intentionally inconsiderate and it's like you are almost on like a warpath or something, just like hurt that person. Because then to me, it's like, why are we doing this? Why are we dating? You know, why are we dating? And also I think something that's also a big turn off for me is somebody who does not have a growth mindset. A growth mindset to me is so important. If you're somebody who's just like, nah, this is just how I am, deal with it. I will. Because that tells me then you're not trying to grow and you've got no room to grow. And then I'd rather not be around you. I'd rather not be around you. Are you going to continue with your IAWT podcast? So I'll explain this in my new podcast. So no, I will not be continuing with it because what happened was it was 3 of us doing it and then the 2 left. So I was by myself. And I don't know, I kind of feel like it's a bit, to me, that podcast is now like a bit stained and like tainted because of that. And I kind of just feel weird doing that one alone. So I'd rather just start afresh in a nutshell. But I'll explain more when I introduce my new one because somebody else has spoken about that. So stay tuned. What was the reason for joining Big Brother Mzansi? So, bro, you know, I had auditioned for Big Brother Titans, right, last year. And I auditioned just for fun. I wasn't serious. I just said, okay, let's see the vibes. And then I got pretty far in those auditions. Like I got very, very close. Of course, I can't tell you how close I got, but I got very close. And then with the one that happened this year, I was kind of just like, you know what? Let's audition. Let's see what happens. And if it's, let's audition. Let's see what happens. If I get in, I get in. If I don't, I don't. But honestly, this was going to be my last attempt. I was not going to try again. So I just kind of said, I got close last time. Let's see. And then boom, pow, I was in. But on a more personal level, for me, it was just like a personal journey thing where it was like affirming for me that I've always been capable of doing great things. And the fact that I was able to get into Big Brother and get to week 6, 41 days, make the impact I made, I am more than enough. I am more than enough. Can you share a behind the scenes moment the viewers didn't get to see but you wish they had? Yes, the kiss of me and Neo. I don't know why that was not shown. I don't know. Maybe something else was happening at that time. Maybe there was some drama or something else was happening. But yes, that. I don't know why that wasn't shown. I don't know. So that is definitely one of the moments I wish people could have seen. 100%. 100%. But hey, man, it is what it is. What was the thing you enjoyed most in Big Brother house? Honestly, the tasks, bro. The wager tasks. Because you didn't know what you were going to get. You had no idea what you're going to get. And always it would challenge you to like step out of your comfort zone and do different things. For example, baking, bro. Like, I now like baking. Me. And I don't think you know how crazy that is because I was never about baking. Ever. 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 So, yeah, definitely the tasks. What did you enjoy the least in Big Brother house? Oh, the alarm. Yo. That alarm. Waking up, bro. Waking up during the week was the toughest thing ever. Yo, I would dread Sunday's ending because you know you're gonna get woken up by that horrible alarm and then it's straight into gym. And that time you didn't sleep well, you didn't eat well. Like, yo, hi. So yeah, that was 100% where that was 100% what I enjoyed the least in the house. Any collaboration with your former housemates? If yes, which housemates you want to work with? Yeah, 100%. Noah and I have spoken about like doing some stuff on like each other's channels. So that'll be like a cool collaboration. Me and Sanaya have spoken about some things. I don't want to spoil what me and Sanaya have spoken about, but we spoke about it a lot in the house. And I'm very keen to get that going and like get that pushing. I'm keen to also collab with Bale. Even Young Papi, we actually had a conversation when I was on the dance floor. And we spoke about doing some things together as well, which I think could be dope. So yeah, I would definitely collab with some housemates. Even Mac Jr., not sure what we do yet. Maybe I could get him like on a podcast. Because yeah, he's like a very good conversationalist. So it'd be cool to just like talk to him as well. I think that'd be like a cool conversation. So yeah. How has it been outside the house? Honestly, bro, I'm trying to adjust. And adjusting to the outside is like the most difficult part because it's like my whole reality, my whole life was in that Big Brother house. And even though it was for 6 weeks, and I know like when you look at that like from an outside perspective, it doesn't seem like a long time. But in there, it felt like years, eh? It felt like I was there for my whole life. It honestly felt like. So when I came out and then you realize that actually not a lot of time has passed, it's like, it's weird. It's a weird thing to adjust to and to acknowledge, because to me, I felt like I was gone for a long time. But when I come out and you're telling me that we're still only in March, how, Sway? How, you know? So yeah, and also adjusting to like the social media stuff has also been pretty hectic. And even like being recognized every now and then has also been a very different experience. But I think I'm getting a grasp of it as more time goes. I'm getting better. How was the overall BBM experience? Beautiful. It was fun. It was challenging. Overall, I had a lot of fun. Like, I can look back and smile and be proud of what I did. I don't have any regrets. At all. So overall, a very fun experience. Which one-liner from an anime or video game would you choose to only say for the rest of your life? Believe it! By Naruto. Yo, Naruto is one of my favorite animes. And I remember when I like watched it for the first time, that man's made me believe in him. Like, I believed he was going to be the Hokage. I believed he was going to save the day. Believe it. Like, that guy believed so much in himself. It was crazy. And that's what I want to get to, and a point I want to get to, where I've got such a strong sense of belief in myself that I can just do anything. So yeah, believe it. Okay, so these are some last minute questions that I also received. Explain to us your experience acting alongside Shannon Ezra. Yo, that was crazy. What an actress, bro. I remember that day, I was like, I gotta show up. And I showed up. Make sure you watch that. I'll link it somewhere. I'll link it in the description. Make sure you watch that interview, bro. I acted. And it's like acting with like someone else who's so professional and like so good. You just feed off each other, you know? There's no like, cause it's like you're both just in the zone. We're both like in the zone, and it just flew, and it just, it flowed so nicely. Like, beautiful. Do you think there has to be a specific strategy to win, or do you generally just have to be yourself? I think that's what the rest of it says. Hey man, honestly, I think everybody's strategy was changing all the time. Like, you could come, like my strategy coming in, right? Before I got told I was a disruptor, my strategy coming in was to just be friendly with everyone and try to win HOH as much as I can, you know? I didn't want to be nominated, like, at all. But I realized that, one, I'm not very good at those arena games. So, yeah, that worked against me. And then trying to be friends with everyone, I felt like I was cool with everyone, but it's like it wasn't good enough. So, yeah. And then you kind of just have to figure it out. But I do think probably the best strategy is to just be yourself, because also remember, there's still life after this. And your image is going to be remembered for how you were on the Big Brother show, you know? So I think that's also very important just to like remember. And I think that's also something I always kept in the back of my mind, that like when I leave this house, how do I want to be remembered? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and of course you can only try your best. And again, how people perceive you is how they perceive you. There's not much you can do about that. But as long as you feel like you were true to yourself, and when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can be proud. That's all that matters. To me, that's all that matters. Which housemate do you think could have went really far but left too early? Now, of course, because I'm outside, right, and I see like how social media are reacting to things, I would definitely say Liema or Yolanda definitely could have, like, to the moon, bro. But when I was in the house and had no idea about social media and what was happening outside, bravo B, guys. That guy I've never seen someone so effortlessly funny, dude. Like, it was so natural, dude. Like, no, that guy was too much. I said, yeah, it's GG, it's over. Congratulations, bro. Like, that guy was so funny, man. Even like when he was upset, like, he was so funny. And the thing is you're like, you'll try to take him seriously, but like, it's just the way he would like deliver his stuff. Yeah. So definitely Bravo B, I think, could have gone far. Have you been to Venderland? Yes, I have been to Vender. I have a couple of times. I have. What's your highlight of being in the house? What has your mindset going in, and how did it change when you left? Being in the house, HH, winning HH was definitely a huge highlight for me, because at that time, one, Never had left, so I was feeling very distraught and very like lost in the world. And then I also felt like I wasn't good at these games, so I was kind of feeling desperate. Then I won HH. And I was like, oh shucks, my boy, you're capable, believe it. So that was one of my biggest highlights, definitely. And my mindset going to the house was just to be friendly with people and try to put my best foot forward. And like, yeah, man, just try to put my best foot forward at all times. And I wouldn't say that mindset has changed. I still am somebody who tries to lead with kindness and to lead with love as much as possible. And I think that's what I try to do in the house. And I think that's why, even as a disruptor, that's why it might have worked, me being a disruptor, because I was leading with love. Unfortunately, I just had to do some things on the side. But yeah. What do you do for a living? I'm mainly, you're intelligent. Thank you. I am mainly in the entertainment space. So I do some acting. I've been in some commercials, I was presenting for DSTV or Snack. And I work for this company called South African Murder Mystery. And basically I dress up as a cop, and then the audience are all suspects in a murder mystery case, and I help them figure out who the murderer is. So yeah, that's a bit of what I do. Well done. I think this is the last question or questions. Well done, Taki, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to ask you questions. How would you describe your early childhood? Pretty good. Like I'll be honest, I was very fortunate and very blessed with the childhood I had, and it had like a lot of love in it. So yeah, like a very good early childhood from my memory. Yeah. What led to your enough saying? A breakup. In varsity, like my first proper girlfriend, you could say. She treated me like nonsense, guys. Yo, I've never seen someone not like me. It's like, she didn't like me, bro. She didn't like me. And I remember my friends at the time were saying to me that, like, you can't let somebody treat you like a Toyota Taz when you're a Ferrari. You gotta know your worth. And I think as time went on, it went from know your worth to becoming you are enough. Because once you realize you are enough, you will then know your worth. And I think back then in my life, I always had the idea and thought that, like, you had to achieve certain things in your life. You had to be a certain person. You had to do certain things, have certain things, be around certain people for people to treat you with the worth you deserve. But you don't, you don't. You are enough just the way you are. Because you are enough. And because of that, you deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve to receive love. You deserve kindness. You deserve everything good in this life. Not because of what you have or what you don't have, purely because you are you. You are you. So make sure you stand up for yourself and you fight for yourself, because you deserve the best. How have you dealt with past bully experiences? Yo, that's gonna have to be like in a whole podcast thing. I will write that one down and I'll speak about it in a podcast, because that's gonna be long. I want to go in depth with that one. So I'll remember that question and I'll speak about it. Why did you call yourself a lover boy on Big Brother? Because, I think for the longest time I've been fighting this part of myself, that like, I am somebody who just loves love. Like, I am a hopeless romantic. And that's why in almost every relationship I get to, I will always like show off my person and speak about my person and adore them and get them gifts and write them notes and all that stuff, because I love love. I love it. It's just been unfortunate that, like, whenever I do that, it's not been reciprocated. But hey man, it's a new year, it's a new relationship. So we hope for the best, we pray for the best, and we keep going. But that's why I call myself a lover boy, 100%. That's exactly why. I just had to accept that about myself and embrace it. And I wasn't doing that enough. Yeah. So yeah, that is the last question. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you got any other questions to, oh, I saw somebody also asked me about Tropica Island, if I would do it. I don't know. Would you guys like to see me there? If you would, just write down in the comments below, Taki for Tropica or something. And then yeah, maybe I'll shoot an edition. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. It was good to be back. And yeah, I hope you got to know me a little bit better. I hope you got to know me a little bit better. Till next time, it's been your boy, TakiTheHuman. Don't forget the Roomba. Welcome to the circus. You are enough. Embrace love. Till next time, peace.